Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. It is our leap year show, and there's some really interesting traditions from the Irish and the Scottish heritage. Joining us from the Scottish and Irish store, Michael Cox. Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
And you know what? The first time I was introduced to this leap year phenomenon, like in terms of the romance, was with this leap year movie that came out with Amy Adams, and it was pretty much she was chasing down her boyfriend because this was the one opportunity on a leap year that she could ask him to get married, right?
Exactly.
She could propose.
Exactly. It actually goes back to about the 5th century in Ireland, of course, where most great love stories start. And it was St. Bridget had complained to St. Patrick because men were the only ones that could legally propose to women. And she complained that Irish women were waiting far too long to be asked for marriage. So St. Patrick agreed that on every leap year, on February 29th, a woman in Ireland could ask a man, could propose to a man for marriage. And it went even further in Scotland, centuries later, they picked up on that, and they actually made a law that said that if the man rejected the proposal, he'd have to pay a fine. And that fine could be anything as little as a kiss or a pair of gloves for the woman to hide the shame of not having a ring on the proposal.
And this has been a story, well, that it's, you know, it caught Hollywood's attention, but it's an interesting story that there are love stories created upon, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, it's gone on for centuries. And even, you know, Sadie Hawkins Day in the States, actually Al Capp, who did Little Abner, on, I think it was November 15th, 1955, did Sadie Hawkins. So everybody in the States thinks that's the day, because that's the first day it had it. But it's based on the leap year proposal from Ireland back 1,600 years ago.
Have you had any women coming into the store with this in mind?
No, but as women come in, we kind of make them aware of it, and they think, that's quite neat.
Just so they know. I'm wondering if anyone's thinking that this morning. I'm sure they've thought it through. You've got some wonderful jewelry for us, especially, too, when St. Bridget went to St. Patrick. It is St. Patty's Day.
Coming
Coming up. So that's
right.
One thing that we're starting to gear towards too, and it must be really busy for you.
Yeah, it's obviously a weekend this year, so
it's a week. It's a week.
St. Patrick's Day weekend.
So either they've got an extra day to recover or an extra day to celebrate.
To prepare, that's right. Practice day.
So what do you want to show us today?
Well, I brought in a little bit of our jewelry. We sell all Celtic jewelry. Everything comes in from Ireland, mostly from Dublin. So I've brought in a mixture, and of course these two trays, which are the silver rings, are all claddagh. There's a huge variety of claddagh rings, and of course the claddagh is a really neat story. It used to be a fishing village in Ireland, in Galway Bay. In the late 1600s, a fleet left claddagh, went to the South Atlantic, and a fisherman in the fleet, Richard Joyce, at the end of the week would return and marry his true love. Well, they were all captured by Algerian pirates. Joyce was purchased by a Moroccan gold merchant, and then he trained him to become a gold craftsman. After a couple of years, he fashioned a ring so he'd never forget his true love. The hands represented friendship, the crown, loyalty, and the heart, love. Well, many years later, Joyce finally gained his freedom. He went back to claddagh after all those years, and his true love had never married. So he gave her the ring, they got married, and he set up his own gold merchant business.
And that is the story to it, and oftentimes you will see people, because people wear the ring differently. Is that right?
And the idea is that if you're committed in a relationship, you wear the heart to the heart. And if you're not fancy-free, it's heart out. So that shows you're available.
Wonderful stories to it, and I've noticed too that you've added different stones to the
ones. So actually these ones are all the birthstones, so it goes from January to December, so it's quite neat. And it said the one ring we sell the most of is the claddagh.
It is.
Yeah, guys come in and they start hovering around the jewelry counter, and the first thing you say, "You're looking for a claddagh ring?" Yeah, how'd you know? Just the signs are there.
It's years of the business for you. You've seen it. And if you want to go a step further, of course,
yes,
you can do the permanent.
Yeah, we have some great engagement rings with some great Celtic knot designs. So we have these ones produced by a company called Celtica here in Canada, and so they use Canadian diamonds and 14-karat gold for the rings themselves. Beautiful, beautiful rings.
So for any of you ladies that are looking to do the proposal today, it's the one day that you can do it.
Never too late.
You can always do it, but never too late on the leap year to follow in tradition of something that started long, long ago in Ireland and in Scotland as well. Great, thanks for the story.
Great, Leanne.
Of course, you can send and check out a lot more when you check out their stores, the Scottish and Irish store. Always a pleasure. We're going to take a commercial break. We got your top news stories. My goodness, it's 8 o'clock already on this Wednesday. We're back after this.